Alright, so what's going on, guys? Chapter 4 of JOJOLands versus Kishibe Rohan. Now, to start off this chapter, we got this nice colored page right here of Kishibe Rohan tied up by JOJO. So, really nice stuff. I really like the color pattern, and I like the posing as well. The fact that Kishibe Rohan can pose even when he's tied up like this is pretty remarkable. You know, you only live your life once, you might as well be posing. Now, Rohan is noticing that the events that just happened are a bit weird. And it seems like he's suspecting that he's being attacked by a stand user. Now, because of this, JOJO tries to warn the others that Rohan is a stand user himself. Now, because the string is still binding onto Paco's leg, he asks for a pair of scissors. And he implores Usagi to pass over the scissors as fast as possible. Now, I thought this other part was pretty funny as well because he's asking Dragona if he wants a pair of scissors as well. But he doesn't refer to him as Dragona, he just says Pink-chan. Now, while this is going on, Paco attempts to stick the pair of scissors between the string and his leg so that he can cut it off. Unfortunately, when he does so, the pair of scissors breaks. It chips off. And because of this, the situation is getting really dire because the string continues to tighten and it doesn't seem like there's a way to get it off. And if this continues, he might actually lose his foot in the process. Now, Dragona thinks that this is part of the security system, but Paco thinks otherwise. He also notes that when he touches the string itself, it feels like it's made of natural materials. But the way it's behaving, it's almost like it's stainless steel. Usagi clarifies that it's not stainless steel, however, that it's a stand ability. They then wonder whose stand ability as Usagi points over at the cat. Now, even though this seems like the most likely conclusion, Paco wonders why a cat would set up a string trap. But Usagi reminds him that animals, just like humans, can see stand abilities. JOJO then warns Dragona about the situation about the owner of the house. Now, the group of three put their masks on so that they don't get caught, but the strings are still tightening around Paco and Dragona. Now, Dragona's got an idea. She summons smooth operators, and instead of trying to move the string, she's going to move her hand. And by doing so, she's able to slip her hand through the string and into safety. Usagi then notes that after the string falls off of Dragona's hand, it disappears, confirming the fact that it is a stand ability. Paco then decides to use his own stand ability to contract his muscles around the string. He then begins to vibrate them so that they press up against the scissors blade and start to rub against it. And by doing so, he's able to wear down the string enough to break it off of his ankle. Nice! Screw off! I beat your shitty trap, asshole, says Paco. Now it's time to escape, but Dragona notices that Paco's backpack is open and the diamond fell out. She wonders how this could have happened, and as she reaches over to the diamond, she notices another hand. Were you the one that opened it, the safe? Quite impressive. But what will you do now? Says Rohan. Dragona begins to sweat and wonders if she'll be in danger if she picks up that diamond once again. Now, because Rohan interjected in the situation, Dragona notes that they're going to have to tie him up. Nevertheless, Rohan says that tying him up is out of the question, along with them stealing the diamond. It is then that Rohan decides to use Heaven's Door to find out more information about Dragona. He also determines that this is just a simple burglary. He now wants to read what's written on each of their bodies, because he has to determine how much information they know about the diamond's existence. Rohan then begins to approach Paco, but he tells him to stay away, and if he doesn't, things are going to get rather violent. Rohan doesn't take any heed to his words and makes his advance. But before this happens, Paco leaps over him and grabs him from underneath the chin with his arms. And it looks like the way he did this was by holding onto the ceiling with his back muscles, so pretty impressive stuff. Now, in a surprising turn of events, Rohan decides to throw the diamond over to Usagi. But when he does so, Heaven's Door activates, revealing Usagi's information. Rohan then uses his distraction to reveal information about Paco as well. And by attaining all this information, Rohan discovers that Merome Q is the one behind this heist. Now, because the four of them don't know any information about the diamond, and are just in it for the money, Rohan is quite relieved. Now, Dragona thinks that he has the diamond in his hands, but when he opens them up, they're empty and the diamond is sitting on the floor. A coincidence or not, the mystery of the diamond deepens. And with that, that's the end of chapter 4, guys. Now, there's a lot going on in this chapter. One, the diamond is very cryptic and has some significance that the four of them are unaware of. Now, of course, after just reading JOJOLion, my first thought is that it's somehow connected to the rock humans. Does this mean that the diamond is alive in a sense? It's very possible. But then we have to ask ourselves the follow-up question. What level of information does Rohan know about this? Is he aware of the rock humans? And what significance does this diamond have in connection with those humans? We also have to wonder what Meryl May Q is doing in this situation. Why does she want the diamond? We have to believe that she does have some information about the rock humans and the diamond. It just can't be about the money at this point. And if it's not about the money, she's most likely a stand user herself. So is she going to be someone that's going to be adversarial to the main four here, or is she going to be working with them? Based on the limited interactions that we had in the first couple of chapters, it seemed like she was a bit devious. It seemed like she had some ulterior motives. So I would think that she's probably not on their side. That she's probably just using them to get the diamond for herself. And then finally, we still don't know what's going on with this cat. Like, what's its deal? Is it a stand ability? Is it a stand user? And how is it connected to the diamond? Was it sent here by Meryl May Q? Was it sent here by someone else? Or is it just acting on its own accord? I mean, there's just so many different questions we have to consider right now. But I think I'll leave it there, guys. Until Chapter 5 comes out, I'll catch you on the flip side. And please subscribe if you haven't already.